What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about GALA today, or GALA, I don't know. This one comes just at the request of Sin Keys. We're doing this one for you, my man, or my lady. We are doing this for you, and we are on the Binance chart, GALA USDT Binance. This is the most historical data that I could find on TradingView with a chart that has volume on it. I looked on CoinGecko here, and it has it going back to 2020. Unfortunately, this chart only has it going back to 2021, but I think we got enough data to work with. It's not too big anyways. It's like we're gonna look at the more immediate term stuff. I want to see the market cap of this thing right now. It's at 480 million. If this thing, let's just be pie in the sky here, if it was to 100x, that would give us a $48 billion market cap. Is that achievable in the realm of crypto? Is that achievable for a coin that's in the top 100 if it does well in the coming bull market? Absolutely. So is this coin 100xable? Absolutely it is. Will it 100x? That's the question, and we're going to get into that right now. So let's see, is it done going lower? It kind of looks like it could go lower than this even, but you on the biggest exchange in the world, the biggest exchange for crypto in the world, on the chart with the most volume, you have your biggest amount of volume coming on this very bullish engulfing candle. You engulfed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, almost 6 months of closing price action. And you had volume that just engulfed all that stuff as well, man. Like this, very spectacular. So does it go lower than this? I don't think so. I wouldn't expect that personally. Let's look at the monthly here. You did reject the 50. Kind of, not really, but let's see. Whatever. There's not enough data on that to really make an accurate assumption. Looking at the weekly here, you did, on that move, you did fail to get overbought. You showed strength, but not a lot of strength, right? It's like the most strength you've shown really ever, other than like these initial pumps up. And on a weekly basis, it's not the most volume we've ever seen, excluding the first week. So I think that's still pretty impressive. And that happened on the second week, not the first week. Whatever, that's okay. Let's look at it. I want to look at it on the daily a little bit more. On the day. Yeah, I don't know. There's probably some selling that went on, but there's definitely a lot of buying interest on this. Let's continue to look at this thing. It might actually go lower than this. I know I opened up the video saying that it might not, but let's just see here. From high to low, if we're taking our fibs, you couldn't even get to the 382, man. Couldn't even get to that. Looks like you're finding some kind of support right here. I don't know if I like this fib. Maybe we could take a different one. Maybe from this top to this bottom here. Yeah, still not a whole lot of respect. I don't know, man. I really don't like the look of this first one where you can't even get to the 382. A previous area of resistance, you couldn't even get there. That's actually not that encouraging, to be fair. From a bottom to a top perspective, you've given most of this move back. You did find a little support off the 618 area, but then you broke through it on the second attempt. You have found resistance on it a couple times. Maybe you do go lower. Maybe you do go lower than 1.5 cents. At this point in time, just the overall look of this thing, unless you can get back above the 618, really get back, yeah, start getting a higher high formation going. Stop having lower highs. You might have a double bottom here. That is possible. Looking at it on the weekly, if I can stop, if it'll let me. There we go. I don't know, man. I think you want to go lower. And sad to say, if and when you break this, I think the next possible area to find support is going to be this 1272, right around 1 cent, right around there. If not down to the 618, which is all the way down at about a 65% of a cent. So that's your range right there. That's actually a pretty big range. From the current price, we would see a drop, if I can get it on there, a drop anywhere from about 44% to 66%. And I do mean that. I really do think that that's possible to achieve. You did have a lot of interest coming in here, volume-wise, but you gave all of it back. You gave all of it back. You are not showing bullish indications at all. You're not showing any strength. Even when you did show strength, you rejected the bullish area of control very immediately, and you've been quick to get back into the bearish area of control. Looking right now, the way the RSI looks, I would expect that you do want to get into the oversold zone, at least bounce off of it, if not get into it. And on a daily perspective too, man, that doesn't look, it really does not look good at all. You can't even get to the overbought zone, you're having a double bottom scenario here, and all it produced was a measly, what, like 10% pump probably? Let's see, maybe even a 20%, let's see. 15%, you know, and in crypto that's nothing, and that's just a lower high. You got a lower low now. Maybe you do end up going back up around here, and then you have another lower high, and then you continue to go lower. At the moment, though, I'm kind of convinced to the opposite direction, that you are going to see a move down, especially with the way Ethereum's looking right now, guys. It's not looking too good, not looking hot at all. I would expect that you're going to see a move down soon with this, and probably, honestly, a move that will start. Like, you're already in the start. I guess the move started back here, right? But you're going to see further continuation of this move that's going to take you to new all-time lows. I wasn't so sure of that at first. The monthly, you know, for a very small chart, this doesn't have a lot of data to go off of. It does look good. It does look good here. But everything else about it looks not good at all. So looking at the 4 hour, this is definitely a sickly looking 4 hour compared to the price action here. Let's zoom this in. You do have bullish divergence presenting itself right now. It's not confirmed. You do have bullish divergence. I will give it that, you know. With something like that, though, you could move up to about, you're at 1.8 cents. You could move up to 1.9 cents, and that divergence is fulfilled. It doesn't need to move up too high. And I really do kind of think that you actually want to pursue lower readings in the RSI, which would give you lower readings in price as well. I really do think you want to take this low out probably very soon. If you can get a 4 hour candle to close above 1.907 cents, if you can get a 4 hour candle to close above this green one here, I would say that you might actually be looking to take out this high here, but you might not, man. You really might not either. So it's hard to say. But where do I think, you know, let's be bullish for a second. Where do I think GALA could go if it doesn't become an absolute crapshoot and just go to nothingness? I mean, it can go below this low and still be fine, right? You can go to those price areas that I was saying, where you go like 40%, 60% down or whatever. How much of a drop would that be from the current price? 42%, yeah, 65%. You could do that and still have a fantastic bull market, right? But let's pretend that this is the low for a second, that we're not going to go lower than this low, and let's pretend that everything, all the bearish things I've been saying, are not going to happen. Well, from a top to a bottom, as far as your fibs go, you'd want to get above 7 cents. You want to get above this 382, 7.1 cents. And then with that, you'd probably have a very encouraging look up until the 618 to the 69, this like sweet spot here. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to break through it if things look good. That doesn't mean that you're going to reject it and then go down to zero if things look bad. You know, it's very common to find resistance in this area, and I would expect that if you were to get back up here, that you would find resistance in this area. Maybe come back to the 0.5 and bounce, maybe come down to the 382 and bounce. You could come all the way back to the 236 and bounce up. Who knows? But what I do, or what I would expect, is that you need to break this 382 first, you know, before, and I mean, that's obvious. Before you go higher, you must break the prices below. But this is a significant level. You know, you found support on it back here. You found resistance on it here. You couldn't even get to it, man. That's not encouraging at all. And if you were to set new all-time highs, there's a solid chance that you could see prices that are above $2.50, which from the current price would be an over 100x. So again, is this thing 100xable? I think it is, even from the current price. If it goes lower, you know, that's only going to get more ridiculous. Like if we were to go down to 1 cent, right, where like the minimum of a drop that I'm expecting, 1 cent, you're turning a potential like 130x into a 243x. That's phenomenal. But again, it's all assuming that you get a higher high. That's all assuming that GALA, whatever, stays relevant in the coming bull market, which there's plenty of coins that don't, you guys. There's plenty of coins that had their nice little run up by the end of the bull market last time, and then they're never to see these highs again. So don't get your hopes up. If I was to bet on this thing, I wouldn't be betting much. You know, maybe if I had a grab bag of altcoins that I wanted to have high hopes for, this could be in that, but I wouldn't, you know, I'd have a solid portion of money that this would get a solid chunk of that into, or I said a very small chunk. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable enough to put anything more than like, I feel like even 5% of my portfolio would be too much, honestly. To put in this thing. It's risky. It could pay off really well. It really could be one of the top performers, but I don't know, man. I don't know too much about this project personally, and just the way that it looks at the current point in time, regardless of the bullish possibilities that you could see, the bearish implications at the current point in time are definitely there. Now let's say that you do find your low somewhere at about like 1 cent, right? Let's say you find your low somewhere down there. You do get a new all-time low. It's right around 1 cent. If you were to buy, let's say you don't buy the absolute low, maybe buy at 1.2 cent. That's your average. And you come up to this 382. That's a 4x right there. You go up to the 618. That's over a 10x. You don't even have to have a higher high. You could go to the 886, a very common retracement, and you'd still see a 40x, almost a 41x. So there is good potential, even if this thing underperforms like the overall expectation, it doesn't get a higher high, there's still some solid potential that you could get a nice move going forward. But for now, I would say I think it's going down. I do think this one's going down. Probably pursues new all-time lows, and then from there, and I say new all-time lows. I don't know what it was at. You know, we don't have the 2020 data, and it looks like it came up, so maybe it is an all-time lows, but we do pursue lows. Let's see, maybe we can figure it out on this. Let's go to the candlesticks and do a logarithmic scale. Okay, yeah, so you're not going to pursue new all-time lows, but maybe you go back to this prior cycle's lows right here, or like during the bull market, right? Which the low there was at, is that right? Okay, yeah, that's at like a 63%. Man, that lines up very well with this 1618, right? 64% of a penny, 64.6. The low down here is just below that. So finding a support on a previous area of support would make sense to me. I really do think you go there, man. If not, at least to about a cent, something like that. But hey, if it goes lower, it's only a bad thing if you're holding it right now. If it goes lower and you're not holding it, or you want to buy more, that's a good thing, man. Because now the potential like 40x. If you go down to that 1618. Maybe that 40x that I was talking about turns into a 72x. Even if you don't get new all-time highs, you can still see great potential returns for this thing. I would expect that throughout the bull market, it probably does get above this high here, which if you bought around the 1618, maybe you buy just like in between there, that's still an 8x, almost a 9x. So that's still pretty good returns. For crypto, it's, you know, there's stuff that's definitely better out there, but I don't really have anything else to say other than I think it goes down in the more immediate term. And then you probably turn around from there. You probably find your support around the 1618, if not at the best around 1 cent at this 1272. That's all I got for you. How far does it go up after that? I don't know. At this point, I am skeptical that you will see higher highs. I'm very skeptical of that. It is possible, and if it happens, that's going to be great, man. You're gonna see prices above $2, $2.50 for sure. You know, let's say we went down all the way to like 64% of a penny, 63%, whatever. That would put you at a minimum target, if you were to break this high, at about $3.17, which would be ridiculous, right? Like if you were to buy, let's say you didn't get the absolute low, but you bought around it, you know, that sets you up for potential of a like almost a 370x. That's incredible, you know what I mean? But I just don't know if we're gonna get that. I don't know if we're gonna get that. I'm kind of doubting that you even see a higher high scenario. You might get a lower high, and in which case you'd probably find some serious resistance at the 618. And then eventually get up. You might see your top around the 786 or the 886 for the next cycle. But still, that's pretty decent gains on a coin that's not going to get a higher high. But it might get a higher high. I don't know. What I do know, or what I do believe to know, is that it's not done going lower. We are going to pursue lower prices, and that's really all I have to say. So if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.